Hello everyone, my name is Rob, welcome to Kinetic Rugby League. In this video I'm going to be giving you my match review of England versus Samoa from the semi-finals of the Rugby League World Cup. So let's get started. So, as a lot of you can probably tell, I'm English. The game finished at this point of recording about 10 minutes ago, and I've only just managed to come down from the adrenaline-inducing game that I've just witnessed. Literally just writing all the stats down that I want to, or things that I want to talk about. So I've not fully recovered, but we're starting with England anyway, since they were the losing team. They put 26 points past Samoa. They completed at 80%. They had more run meter stats. They had 10 errors and a tackle efficiency of 83.2%. Okay, right. My England team. Where to begin? Okay. First of all, my genuine thoughts. We were pretty awful. And especially in the first half, we were bad. Really bad. A lack of meters up the middle. No creativity spreading the ball. No flow whatsoever. I think, honestly, I'm not one to buy into all the things that people might say about, oh, the refs on England's side, because I don't think it's as legit as people sometimes claim it to be. Oh, the ref is on someone's side. But in terms of referees' decisions, we were very lucky today. So a lot of 6-agains and a lot of penalties that went against Samoa, which I think a lot of them were harsh. So that's... I don't think that's because the ref was in favour of England. They just made bad calls. Some of them were 6-agains, some of them were penalties. A good handful still weren't. The first England try, at first glance to me, I thought it was forward. It looked like from a different angle when George Williams released the ball, it looked like it was backwards as he released it. It's just the momentum that he had allowed the ball to move forward. But England were very lucky in the first half to still be in the game. The second half was a lot more intense, a lot more clean, slightly better flow, but still too many of the same problems time and time again. And Samoa did a good job to slow England down. They didn't get a lot of easy meters. What I am really proud of is the fight back. Now, as much as people are still going to say you have the ref on your side, fine, you want to claim that, fair enough. The point being, England were really bad. We didn't deserve to be in that game at all. But when we're 8 points down, the fight back was something that I was very proud of. You know, George Williams, about 3 minutes before he broke through to set up Herbie Farnworth, received the ball down the left-hand side, was in two minds about chipping the ball over the top or putting in a grubber kick. Hesitated, stopped, turned round, passed the ball off, attack was over. And that was like, you know, putting us under a lot of pressure. But then he did well to break through the line, make up for that mistake earlier on, and set up Herbie Farnworth. So I'm very proud of the fight back. And again, so talking about the penalty kick to equalise, I think by the letter of the law, I think it was a penalty. Junior Paulo pushed over Sam Tompkins. Tompkins is in the air, and he could have backed out the tackle. But, so by the letter of the law, it is a penalty, but it looked incredibly soft, like really soft, and just almost doesn't look like one. When England were a man up, when Samoa got a sin bin, there was no more flow to the game. Samoa looked comfortable. They obviously picked up their intensity to stay in the game and not have to, not have to worry about being a man down. They got stuck in defensively, but England that entire first half were awful, and second half still had some issues, but came out fighting and were better. But what I don't understand, and this is mainly on the last 5 minutes, and especially for Golden Point, why there is such an emphasis on spreading the ball early in the tackle. So we're pinned back from the start. Let's say in the first set we make about 40 metres. We then kick. We have a good kick and chase. We can pin Samoa back. And then we receive the ball in better field position than when we started. So if we can make 40 metres again, we're right in the red zone for a drop goal. But I don't know why we're trying to get ourselves in these positions when we don't need to. Elliot Whitehead, that was the other situation. Basically at the end of full time of the first 80, throws the ball off when he's through. There's plenty of time. There's probably enough time to take the tackle, run in one more to set up in good field position, and then for either Tompkins or Williams to take a one-pointer. Stupid things like that. Stupid mistakes. A stupid forward pass from Sam Tompkins trying to spread the ball. And a knock-on from Wellesby. Why are we trying to do these things? Use the whole set to run straight up the middle, kick and chase, pin them back defensively, get yourselves in better field position. I don't know why we're panicking so much. I understand there's an intensity to equalise or to want to win the game after what's just happened, but moments like that you just can't do. And a lot of teams would have collapsed in those situations. It didn't help that England put themselves in that position to begin with, because they just weren't good enough throughout the game. I've rambled on too much about England at this point, but I'm still coming down at the minute. So, yeah, it was very disappointing. Too many errors, too sloppy. But I am proud of the fight back. I'm proud of the performances as a whole throughout this whole World Cup. And I do think there was a genuine chance of at least putting up a good fight against Australia had we made the final. But, yeah. What a game if you're a neutral. Especially if you're Samoan. So, yeah. That's it on England. And I've gone on too long. But, yeah. Just to finish that up, very proud of England's efforts this tournament. Disappointed with how that went at the end, but I think people now recognise that there are definitely talented players that we have available, and hopefully we can come back in a few years' time and have another go. Maybe get to the final next time, we will see. So, moving on to the winning team, which was Samoa. They put 27 points past England. They completed at 85%. They had 5 line breaks, 43 tackle breaks, 15 offloads, and a tackle efficiency of 85.35%. Now, they gave away a lot of penalties and a lot of 6-agains. So, on to what I said about in England's part. They gave away a lot of penalties and 6-agains, but a lot of them were harsh. So, stats-wise, it still goes against Samoa in the stats, but a lot of them were harsh. But they still gave away the penalties and 6-agains. And that was the only thing that wasn't allowing them to run away with the game. Because it felt like, in the first half especially, Samoa were worth probably about a 16-point difference at the half minimum. But yeah, just a lot of dodgy calls from the ref. slowed down the progress of Samoa. But in terms of what they did well, there was a good mix of going up the middle, which England couldn't deal with. The forwards were very effective down the middle, and a good mix of spreading the ball as well. So they didn't constantly spread the ball, but there were maybe once or twice, sometimes 3 times in the tackle, sometimes early in the set, where they'd spread the ball. So they were putting England on the back foot, having them, retreat and gaining an extra 10 metres where they normally wouldn't, or an extra 15, 20 metres, by spreading the ball, putting pressure on England's outside players, and then they go back to the middle again and then make more easy metres. Now, it didn't look like they were too effective at spreading the ball, but they created enough chaos when they did that, which then, so going on to what I said last week in the game against Tonga, they were really good in the off-the-cuff moments. So they did enough spreading the ball. They didn't open up England conventionally spreading the ball, man running, behind the back, the dummy runner, creating an overlap. But they did enough to create chaos in England's defensive structure, which then gave Samoa the off-the-cuff moments to work from, and players like Luai ate that up. There were at least 2 times, in the first half especially, the ball came to him, he's kind of jumped up, and then as soon as his feet touch the ground, there's a little step, and he's gone. And it just opens England up. And that happened too many times. England allowed that too many times, and they didn't catch on to it quickly enough. But Luai got the ball, feet hit the ground, quick step inside or outside, and was just a complete menace. Was a nightmare to deal with. Samoa went at England with a lot of pace and a lot of power, created the off-the-cuff moments, and were just naturally better at them. You see the Penrith Panthers players doing that a lot. They work well in a system, but when they're in the chaotic moments, they just know how to deal with it. And players like Luai, Toto, Crichton, they know how to deal with it. So in the off-the-cuff moments, they were just too difficult to deal with. I think the only tries, from an England's fan perspective, the only tries that shouldn't have happened, I think was Samoa's first and second try, because there were soft tries from a defensive standpoint from England. Watkins defensively poor in that moment, and then a lapse of concentration for Samoa's second try. Those things cannot happen, and they just shouldn't happen. So from an England fan's perspective, they shouldn't happen. But they kept going down that left side with Lafai, who's actually been brilliant this World Cup so far since he came in to replace Tango. He's been excellent and was very effective today. But yeah, Samoa were just better. They could and probably should have run away with this game if it wasn't for some unfortunate decisions from the referee. I think in terms of Samoa's chances for the final, I see them putting up a good fight. I still don't know whether they've got enough to affect Australia enough. I don't know. But given that I didn't expect this result, and I didn't expect New Zealand to be as close to Australia as they were, this final could be exciting. This final could be very exciting. So yeah, we'll see how Samoa get on. But yeah, I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted. I predicted England 30, Samoa 20. But England just didn't show up for enough of that game. We're very lucky to be in it. But yeah, I'm glad to see that Samoa has turned things around. You know, they turned it around very quickly after that England game. They put that to bed and then came back, got their revenge. And well done to them. But yeah, I was nervous. I'm still on the come down at the minute. I'll get there. I'll be all right. But yeah, I'm thoroughly disappointed. But again, very proud of the fight back. Very proud of the effort this tournament. I really thought we could have done it, but we didn't. And if you don't show up, if you're not there in the big moments, then this happens. So, disappointed, but fair play to Samoa. Congratulations to them. And we'll see what they can do in the final next week. So that's going to be it for this video. If you have any thoughts on the England versus Samoa game, let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with new content. You can also follow the social media accounts in the description down below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.